Hi everyone. Welcome to the IEEE TENCON 2021 robotics competition. I will be your host for this afternoon. My name is Doshka Kalaratna Abewardana and I'm from the University of Auckland. Um, First of all, I would like to welcome you all to this session and just want to quickly sort of introduce the three categories that we've had this competition running through. So we've had the junior category, the senior school category, and the university category. And we've also had the Region 10 category for the Region 10 entries. And so to start off with, we will play the videos for each of the categories which were shortlisted for the final awards. Over to you guys to play the first videos for the junior school category. Thank you.
Hi, we are Team
Elderly
People Intelligent Care, and we developed these robots to solve the two main issues for people with dementia.
First, wrong medication.
Second,
Feeling lonely.
here we have the perfect solution, our robot's companion and dispenser.
Wrong medication is when people who eat medicine eat the wrong one and often die. This is the perfect robot for them. This robot is called dispenser. Each person has an ID card, then the dispenser can identify who the person is by it. The person's prescription medicines comes out. That helps stop overdosing and taking the wrong types of medicines. We have the dot matrix to show who has to eat a specific type of medicine. Also, the dispenser lid can lock and unlock so people are prevented from getting ill. There's a security number pad where you can press a password combination to open and close it. If you get the combination wrong, the lid won't open. We use multi-CPUs because we needed different kinds of inputs and outputs. In our current system, yellow is for Zoe, red for Claire, and blue for Ella. If you already have the medicine, you won't be able to have it again until the next day. You can open and close the dispenser for refilling the medicine. Many elderly people with dementia feel lonely, so we have this friendly robot, Companion. Companion lets you know what the medicine is if you do not know what it is for. In our current system, yellow is vitamin, red is headache, and blue is cold. Companion can also express its emotions using its face. It can play with elderly people, for example, shaking hands and moving using sensors, especially when we use the sensors facing down so it prevents falling down from the table. For this robot, we use 3 AVR boards. This is how and when we use our robots.
Stop! You already ate this medicine. You nearly died.
All right!
Oh yeah, I made a robot just for you. This robot's name is Dispenser. This is your ID card. If you put this on the color sensor, you get the right pill for you. You use the password to open the lid. You can refill the pills whenever you need to. Press 5 when you want to lock it.
I'm saved! I'll be lonely when you leave.
Don't worry, I have a robot just for that as well. This robot is called Companion. Companion can also let you know what medicine is for. In our current system, yellow is vitamin, red is headache, and blue is cold. Using the sensor, it can move less freight back and forward. Companion can show his feelings by looping, poking, and swiping.
What happens if it falls?
Don't worry, there's sensors on the button to protect it.
I'm saved again!
We're saved! Our future improvement is to learn face recognition at university and use it instead of ID cards because people who have dementia might easily lose or forget their ID cards. Also, we are going to make Companion more friendly and make dementia games so no one will be afraid of it. We think making Companion and Dispenser more safer to use is the biggest improvement we have to make. Thank you.
Autonomous MIQ service robot.
For our presentation, we will talking about the topic and our robot and future improvements.
About the topic. Problem. There could be a virus transmission with MIQ staff deliver food to people in each room.
Solution. Replacing human involvement with the MIQ server robot for contactless delivery. About our robot. For our functions, there are two parts to our robot, delivery robot and control tower. The delivery robot has three main functions. Firstly, line tracing. The delivery robot is self-serving, using the line tracing system to follow the lines to deliver food. Secondly, contactless delivery. To make minimum contact with the robot as well, we made a buzzer to tell when the robot delivers food outside of the door. Lastly, communication. The delivering robot and the control tower are communicating by IR signal to send location to the delivery robot that needs to go and deliver. Now for the control tower. The control tower is receiving signals from each room and converting those signals for the delivery robot by pressing the IR remote controller. The control tower is using 4 servo motors to press buttons on the IR remote controller. For our delivery robot, we used 1 CPU and 4 1.5 volt batteries and 1 IR remote receiver and 3 IR sensors and 1 servo motors. For our control tower, we used 4 servo motors, 1 IR remote controller, and 1 CPU. This is our demonstration.
Demonstration for the MIQ service robot. Let's get into it. This is our control tower. And this is our delivering bot. There's a button to tell the delivering bot to put the food in room 1 or 2, and it will make the control tower send the signal to the delivering bot. Looks like it has arrived to our right room. Also good with serving the food just in front of the door. Let's see how it works with the room 2. Oh no, we pressed the wrong button. But That is alright because we have a cancel button. Future improvements. First, having lots of food at once and give out one food each time. Secondly, using improved methods for delivery. Thirdly, automatically avoiding people or obstacles. Fourthly, adding more functions to the robot, such as laundry and cleaning rooms. Last but not least, disinfecting robot, like air spraying alcohol, like sanitizer, on the robot.
Thank you for watching our presentation.
So that was a junior school category. And wasn't that simply amazing? I thought they did a fantastic job. And actually, I have to be honest, I enjoyed judging this category the most out of all three. So now I would like to invite our team to play the shortlisted videos for the senior school category, who also did a fantastic job, I must say.
With both aging populations and a rise in popularity in service robots, we've begun to notice the lack of expressions in service robots, a ballooning gap in the service industry, and a need for low-cost solutions. On average, the annual cost for a receptionist is $44,475 per year, compared to the annual cost for robot maintenance of $10,000 per year in New Zealand. An article by Rencontier says, from an operational cost point of view, it was quite a brilliant thing, as its long-term use is profitable, and according to Springer Link, its key feature must be its face, as approaching to interact with it must be comfortable.
To solve these issues, we designed a robot with multi-joint mechanisms, anthropomorphism, compact systems, and integrated more ways for interaction. With these in place, we get the benefit of having more expressive gestures, a novelty in design that leaves a positive impression, bettering the overall customer experience. We also benefit from having a wider range of interaction methods, allowing us to better communicate with customers through text and speech.
The structure of Georgie can be split into two main components, its head and the body. The head of Georgie has two prominent features, the eyes and its ears. The eyes are actuated using the slider crank mechanism, allowing for precise and separate control of both eyes. The ears are actuated using the push-pull linkage. With this mechanism, we can control both ears with equal range of motion with a single servo motor. Georgie takes full advantage of multi-linkage mechanisms to access a wide range of motion in a confined space, especially in its head. To help animate the face, we took an animatronic-like approach to apply human features. The neck connects the head with the body, and is also the most expressive mechanism of Georgie. Two servo motors translates the pivot of the head along an axis, achieving a wide range of motion. This also makes the mechanism robust, providing stable support to the head. The head is able to travel up and down, all while being able to rotate on the z-axis.
Georgie uses the ability to wink, tilt his head, and wave his ears to express different expressions. These expressions are used to better interact with people.
Aside from expressions, we also increase interactivity by using a built-in touch display. The touch display allows us to communicate with text and images, furthering our ability to communicate with customers. It also allows us to use QR codes and display images and sounds that allow the customers a better experience.
And now a demo.
In conclusion, due to the high and rising demand in service robotics, we created a design that allows for a high interaction, the ability to create favorable user experiences, and contain an accessibility to all users, with a friendly aesthetic to match the demands and the quality needed for our future.
We are Mr. TT, Turtle Toy, inspiring to enhance autism education. Since the 2000s, autism has increased significantly, leading to 1 in every 69 child diagnosed with autism. Studies show 1% of the world's population is autistic, which is over 75 million people. Researchers say that autistic children learn beneficially with sounds and pictures, showing positive brain movement when these children play and fiddle with toys that make sounds rather than not, leading to prevention of potential triggers and calm movement shown from these children. Swimming is an important factor in survival. We believe swimming is a fundamental skill that is required for all. However, recently, studies showed that 1 in 3 children do not know how to swim by the age of 10, while statistically, every 8 child dies from unintentional drowning. Children with autism are 160 times more likely to die due to the high rapid rise in panic and stress levels when felt endangered, making swimming lessons for autistic children a high priority, which has not yet been recognized by the world.
Our solution presents interaction in a modular and cost-effective system through the use of biomimicry. In our design process, we started with a sea turtle as our base and built our robot focusing on 2 specific parts, the interactive shell on top and the biomimicry movements. Inspired by the movements of a sea turtle, we designed the arm joints to emulate the turtle movement, creating a natural feeling as Mr. TT swims, ridding unnerving feelings when interacting with stiff traditional robots. During Mr. TT's development, we placed modularity as one of our top priorities, resulting in Mr. TT having an interchangeable costume to match personalities with specific children and efficient maintenance with easily replaceable parts, as each limb as well as the roof can be released from the chassis, also making Mr. TT sustainable and future-proof. Mr. TT is significantly cheaper relative to competing industry-standard special education robots. Mr. TT achieves similar results in an inexpensive manner through cost-effective design in combination of modularity and interactive design. One of our important mechanisms is this single servo, controlling both the head and reciprocating the inverted movement to the tail. This means a single servo can articulate both the head and the tail. This first version of Mr. TT utilizes a shell with 7 interactive buttons and an inbuilt speaker to bring a fun experience to brain memory exercises, stimulating thought processes, as well as providing a fidget toy with unique percussion sound effects to calm and assist ASD-affected children in their own learning environments. Here is a demo of the game. The first mode is free play, where the user can press any of the buttons on the shell to produce sounds. The second mode is the memory game, where a random number of octagons are highlighted into a pattern. Then the user must memorize the pattern before the game switches to the last stage, where the user must click the buttons physically on the turtle shell in any order to complete the game. The modularity of Mr. TT allows the shell to be easily modified with different kinds of sensors and is programmed in C, so games can easily be added in the future.
Mr. TT also acts as a pool buddy, encouraging swimming while creating an enjoyable time around the pool, positively enhancing their experience with water, hence decreasing a child's stress levels by being comforted in water. Turtle Toy can act as an assistant for instructors at times. Leading by example encourages children to follow Mr. TT, a friendly, cool and collective turtle, into the pool, allowing children to take risks by conquering the fear of water.
Hi, my name is Ans Qureshi and I am a PhD student from CARES Lab in the University of Auckland. I am also working as a research associate at the National Center of Robotics and Automation in Pakistan. I will be showcasing my robot called the Swarm Intelligent Miniature Robot or SIMBOT for the IEEE TENCON 2021 Robot Design Competition. The need behind the design of such a robot is to provide young STEM students with robotic kits for basic learning. Today, labs around the world are equipped with state-of-the-art robots that cost thousands of dollars because of which they are low in number and inaccessible to most of the students. A low-cost miniature robotic kit can solve this problem. The SimBot is capable of demonstrating engineering concepts such as robotics, control systems, IoT, computer vision, and a lot more. The SimBot has a differential drive wheel chassis which is made of a two-layered 80 by 80 mm PCB design using LTM. Its DC motors are driven using DRV8833 dual H-bridge motor drivers and the ESP32 is installed on the bottom side. A B-type USB port is also used to charge a 3.7 lithium-ion battery. Here is the top view and bottom view of the robot that shows place.
Sorry, apologies for that. So that was our senior school category, and we accidentally played also one of the university category videos. So now we're moving on to the university category.
Hi, my name is Ans Qureshi and I am a PhD student from CARES Lab in the University of Auckland. I am also working as a research associate at the National Center of Robotics and Automation in Pakistan. I will be showcasing my robot called the Swarm Intelligent Miniature Robot or SIMBOT for the IEEE TENCON 2021 Robot Design Competition. The need behind the design of such a robot is to provide young STEM students with robotic kits for basic learning. Today, labs around the world are equipped with state-of-the-art robots that cost thousands of dollars because of which they are low in number and inaccessible to most of the students. A low-cost miniature robotic kit can solve this problem. The SimBot is capable of demonstrating engineering concepts such as robotics, control systems, IoT, computer vision, and a lot more. The SimBot has a differential drive wheel chassis which is made of a two-layered 80 by 80 mm PCB design using LTM. Its DC motors are driven using DRV8833 dual H-bridge motor drivers and the ESP32 is installed on the bottom side. A B-type USB port is also used to charge a 3.7 lithium-ion battery. Here is the top view and bottom view of the robot that shows placement of the infrared sensors, H-bridge, ESP32 microcontroller, Hall effect encoders, and DC gate motors. This wasn't all. We added an OT depth camera on top of the SimBot and integrated it with a friendly ARM NanoPi onboard computer. This provided us with a complete differential drive robot capable of operating ROS and OpenCV relevant algorithms. Now I conclude this video by showing some of the robot and engineering concepts implemented by using this robot kit.
Hello, I'm Caleb Roach, and I'm presenting this with Edmund Leal from the University of Auckland. This is a soft arm for educational use. Quick overview of our system. Our system is a chatbot-based soft arm control system, which makes use of computer vision. So in this case, the robot arm would point at objects to help children make associations with objects using language. So the child would interact with the chatbot, which then uses Google Cloud's Dialogflow, which then passes on data to the robot arm control, which would then use an Intel RealSense camera to feed into its object recognition system, which then be used to point the soft arm at a teddy bear, in this case, if the child asks it to point at a teddy bear. The child would then get feedback from the chatbot, letting the child know that it is pointing at the teddy bear. Just a brief overview of machine learning-based chatbots. It's user-friendly, it's good for children, it's robust. Google's Dialogflow can use voice commands, and it's using machine learning, natural language processing, so it can be improved over time. Object recognition is also making use of machine learning. Most accurate methods make use of convolutional neural networks, which learns from a lot of training images. A famous model is YOLO v4, but it requires a huge amount of training data. So just a brief overview of the chatbot. They have speech to text, which then feeds into natural language processing, which then gets sentiment or intentions, which is then passed on to robot arm control. Text generation is then used to generate a response, which is then turned into speech and outputted through a computer speaker to allow the child to know that their query has been processed. Just a little preview of the chatbot user interface. It's very user-friendly, and it includes a microphone push-to-talk and a display for people who can't hear, so they can see a transcript of the conversation they've had with the chatbot. There's also text input with the send button for people who are unable to talk. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Edmund Liu, and I designed the vision control system for the soft arm. Essentially, we use two convolutional neural networks to detect both the location of the arm as well as the rotation of the arm. Then, given the intent of the user, the soft arm control module calculates the correct commands to send to the soft arm for it to point towards an object. In order to train the convolutional neural networks which detects the soft arm, I created an auto-augmentation tool, which randomly replaces a background amongst other augmentations for our training dataset. This dramatically reduced the amount of images we had to manually label, while still producing very high-quality results. Our first convolutional neural network is YOLO v5, which is capable of detecting both the category and location of objects. It requires over 5,000 images per class for accurate results, which we did achieve, and it's robust to change the lighting and perspective. This network detects both the soft arm, humans, and toy bear. Overall, our YOLO v5 network ran at 20 FPS on a GTX 1650 and was quite accurate, considering our soft arm is both transparent and quite thin. The other neural network is ResNet 18. This convolutional neural network only detects the bottom segment of the soft arm and uses that to predict the rotation of the soft arm. We had to use this method because we found trigonometric methods to be inaccurate due to the highly deformable nature of the soft arm. The soft arm control system is very simple. It uses simple trigonometry to determine the angle the soft arm must move in order to point at a target object. Overall, we found our system to be functional and accuracy to be okay in some regards. Base rotation accuracy is plus minus 8 degrees, which is a bit low, but it's good enough for the job, while joint rotation accuracy was high. Due to the lockdown, some air leaks were not fixed. Furthermore, some pumps or air sacs did not fully inflate, therefore the full motion of the arm could not be achieved.
So, for example, we can just say hello using text. And if you couldn't hear that, using Google's text-to-speech, you can also hear the response. Other option is to actually use the microphone. Point at the human. So we can also use voice. So yeah, it's quite simple to use. And the rest of the project will be explained by my partner, Edmund Leal.
As you can see, the vision control system is capable of tracking and sending commands for the soft arm to point towards a toy bear. The slow response time is due to the slow air pumps, as well as the networking latency from sending the commands to the soft arm over Wi-Fi. The laptop screen shows successful detections of the soft arm's segments, joints, as well as a human and toy bear. Thank you for watching our presentation.
Hello and welcome. Today's presentation will be on the Aroa platform. Aroa stands for Autonomous Robotic Assistant, and it is a humanoid robotic platform that can be used to perform autonomous tasks. The humanoid platform was designed to carry out autonomous cleaning in medical and hospitality environments. This reduces contamination and exposure of human workers to potentially biohazardous situations. The robotic platform can reach hard-to-clean places that would otherwise be occluded to commercially available UV decontamination robots. With a humanoid form, dexterous manipulation capabilities, and reconfigurable torso, Aroa can perform most common cleaning tasks with the constraint of human-like workspaces. Here we show Aroa performing some simple tidying tasks. Aroa can perform tidying tasks on high surfaces by moving the torso and the arm mounting position high, as well as moving into occluded spaces and working underneath the table surface. Aroa is designed to be a modular platform where each modules can be upgraded or reconfigured. We can see from the exploded view where each module is connected and some of the constructions under the shell. With a high payload capacity in the base and torso, Aroa can facilitate various types of robotic manipulators. Here we have a short demonstration of the platform manipulating loads with the torso module using the UR5 robotic manipulators. With the arms locked in position, the torso can allow the Aroa platform to lift payloads beyond the capabilities of the manipulators. The 7 Degrees of Freedom arm uses a hybrid design with directly driven joints by gear-reduced motors and a tendon-driven Baldwin cable transmission elbow. By moving the motors towards the torso, we reduce the inertia in the arm. This reduces the forces interacting at loading joints during operation. The Baldwin cable transmission also enables rapid reconfiguration, such as the adjustment of the humerus and forearm limbs. In conjunction with vision, the platform can detect flat surfaces and perform cleaning routines using the appropriate tools on the end effector. Here we show a bimanual cleaning procedure using a UR5 and UR10 robot manipulators mounted on Aroa. The head unit consists of 2 smart actuators and a Microsoft Azure Connect camera. This gives Aroa a field of view similar to that of humans with pan and tilt capabilities. The vision allows Aroa to detect objects and planes for task planning and safety. Here in the video, we can see Aroa stopping all tasks once a person has entered its operating area. Around the camera, a rounded head shell provides the finishing appearance of Aroa. Finally, we show the object detection and removal capabilities of the vision-based cleaning systems. The objects are thrown randomly onto the surface, and the platform automatically generates tidying procedures accordingly. Thank you for your attention. For all inquiries, please visit the new Dexterity website.
Hello everyone, my name is Anup Sharma with Divyoti Bora present an autonomous room sanitizing bot known as COVID Raksha. The objective toward making this robot was to effectively sanitize the large room in places like gym, hotels, restaurants, and other hospitality places. As regular sanitization in such places are very important, so what we have observed, many workers risk their life to disinfect such area. So we try to develop automatic room sanitizing mechanisms. So this is the design of our boat, which we prepared in SolidWorks. So as you can see, we have placed a tank where we are going to store the liquid sanitizer, and it is connected with a pipe to a nozzles through which we are going to disinfect the areas using these nozzles. So it can disinfect anything like a table, chairs, or any appliances that they have. Then we also have a UVC light on the bottom of the robot, so which is also going to disinfect the floor if there is any virus. So it is going to disinfect the floor as the robot moves on. Then we have also shown here some electronic circuits, so which are basically going to govern the uh, direction of the boat, in which direction it will go, and then it should not hit any obstacle. So to make it automatic. Some of the significant point of our proposed system is that the boat is designed to use both the sanitizing mechanism, that is a liquid sanitizer and a UVC lamp. So, and also the boat can be operated using a mobile app. So there you have the two options. One is automatic sanitization and one is manual sanitization. If we choose the manual sanitization option, then we can control the direction of the robot also. Then we have also smart scheduling features through which the user can set at at what time they want to start the robot, and the robot will perform the task automatically. It is also very compactly designed, and now I'm going to show you the working of this robot in the video.
Now you can see I have connected my bot with this with my mobile phone application. Okay, so this is our mobile phone application. Now we are in the manual mode. Okay, so now if I click forward, then you can see the wheels are moving forward. That means I can go forward. If I click on backward, it will go backward. If I click on stop, it will stop. If I click on left, it will move leftward. If I click on right, it will move rightward. Now suppose I went to some distance and I want to turn on the sanitizer. Okay, then I can click on spray on. Then you can see the motor is on and it is throwing the water. Okay, so in this way we can control this. Now suppose if I want to again go to the automatic mode, then I will just click on this automatic mode here, and then now it is again went to the automatic mode. Now in the automatic mode, you can see now it is working, right? Now suppose if I place something in front of him, then you can see it will stop and the motor will start working, the water will try to flow. Okay, in this way, if it find any obstacle, then it will sprinkle the water and the motor will stop. Okay, then if I remove my hand, now you can see it is again start moving in the forward direction. So this is the working of our model. This is my boat and this is my mobile app. So now when I will click on forward, then you can see it is going forward. Okay, now it is in the manual mode. So now once it reaches some obstacle, then I click on the stop. Now I can turn on the motor, this sanitizer spray, by clicking on spray on. See, when I click on spray on, the motor is running. I have not filled the tank with water, that's why you are not seeing water coming out from here, else it could come out, like the water would come out. Now I will click on spray off. Now you can see it has been off. Now again I will click on backward, so that it will move backward. Then again I will click on stop.
Theme which we have taken for this hackathon is robotic technology to assist nurses and doctors in medicine delivery, patient handling across the hospital, including ICU. COVID scenario has brought a lot of development in the field of technology despite many ill effects. Medical workers, especially doctors and nurses, are putting themselves on the front line to save millions of lives. When the count raises, the nurses and doctors aren't able to handle a large number of people. Regular timely checkups are also needed. This paved way for automation within the hospital. The problem statement which was posed in front of us was how we might assist nurses and doctors in medicine delivery and patient handling. So we designed a bot naming after Mother Teresa, who is the epitome of kindness and compassion. Our solution was to build a bot with the following feature, which are currently under process: supply of medicine and food, therapy with post detection, vital parameters checking, and counseling. What were the components that we basically required were 4 wheels, motor driver, battery, carrier at 3D printed materials, display, microcontroller, Raspberry Pi, LiDAR sensor for navigation, LED, camera for image processing. Softwares we are using are ROS for mapping, TensorFlow Lite, and Firebase database. This slide shows the 3D model of our robot which we have simulated. Speaking of the architecture of our Teresa bot, it is designed to have a supply carrier at the top and the motor driver connected with 4 wheels at the bottom. The top battery will be placed in the middle and a LiDAR sensor on top of it. The display is placed in front, which will be used for selecting the options and displaying the therapy exercise. The image aside is a miniature proto with some features.
This bot will be integrated with path planning, which is done by using G-mapping packages of ROS, where we will be mapping the entire environment of the hospital. So, once these nodes have been mapped, we will be moving on with LiDAR integrations. Once an obstacle is detected, the LiDAR at the top sensing it and make the required navigation with the help of RP LiDAR packages. Where the hospital is overcrowded and too many obstacles on the path, the bot will play the audio to move on the speaker. In some scenarios, if needed to buy some medicine, the bot is attached with the audio receiver and speaker, so that once the bot reaches a certain spot with the mission planning, it says the medicine and it can be placed at the carrier. The bot will have a carrier at the top where the items will be placed. This carrier will also have a subsection. So, if the bot is carrying food for the patient in the ward, once it reaches a certain patients, the LED in the section containing the food for the patient will be blinked.
PyCam is integrated for image processing. This helps for physiotherapy and emotional recognition activity. Physiotherapy is an important activity to be done for a certain patient. The bot is integrated with the computer vision, so it observes and checks the action based on pose detection. Once the detected pose matches, it moves to the next exercise.
Bots are potentially referred to as the most promising and advanced form of human-machine interactions. The design bot can be handled with an app manually through the cloud technology with the predefined databases of actions, and further moves are manually controlled through the mobile application. Simultaneously, to reduce the workload of a doctor, a customized feature is included to process the X-ray image through the app based on convolutional neural networks that is part of image processing system. Convolutional neural networks are deep learning algorithms that are very powerful for the analysis of images, which gives us quick and accurate classification of diseases based on the information gained from the digital X-ray images. So, to reduce the workload of our doctors, these features are included that will surely help them during this COVID period. The proposition and the impact. Rather to avoid physical contact to get the medicines and food supply, this autonomous bot brings the needed supplies in a safe and secure manner. And SOS to the doctors with the live telecast helps them to analyze the patients. A regular checkup of vital parameters and continuous control are being included. Diagnosing therapy using post detection, counseling and entertainment features are also included to better their mental health. Thank you.
Hello and good morning to fellow audiences and colleagues. This presentation is in conjunction with IEEE TENCON 2021 Robot Design Competition. The title of the research is Rovision, Navigation Aid for Visually Impaired People with Social Distancing Measures using CE, CBCE and FLC Orca. The presentation is prepared by Muhammad Rabbani Muhammad Romli under the supervision of Dr. Azhar Muhammad Ibrahim and Dr. Siti Fauziah Toha. Robotic Navigation Aid (RNA) provides an option for visually impaired people for self-navigation and allows them to travel independently. RNA improves navigation in terms of obstacle avoidance, and it involves many types of machinery such as mobile robot, smartphone apps, and wearable attachment. However, post-COVID-19 pandemic, the requirement of RNA have changed drastically. They are not only required to move from one point to another while avoiding collision, other additional aspects such as social distancing, perimeter distance, needs to be taken into consideration. Therefore, there are three research problems which needed to be considered. The first is the inability of RNA to differentiate between living and non-living obstacles. The second is the measures of social distancing or a safety radius when encountering human subjects. And the third is the practicality of RNA, which rarely can be implemented on visually impaired people, which brings us to the second section of proposed method. To enable recognition of human subject, a novel CE-CBCE feature extraction method has been proposed. First, LiDAR point cloud data is gathered and pre-processing steps is initiated. Then the CE feature extraction method is ensued. Here, 11 types of features are extracted and acts as the input for object recognition. Sequentially, CBCE is executed with 12 added features. And finally, the object is classified as a class of human, motorcyclists, vehicles, or other non-living object. As the object recognition has been achieved, the next objective will be to avoid collision and apply social distancing parameter from other obstacles. To achieve this, FSC ORCA is introduced. The fuzzy logic measures distance, velocity, and acceleration of human subject and gives output of responsibility to avoid collision based on the obstacle characteristics. To implement the system proposed, Rovision Mobile Robot is constructed. Two LiDAR sensors are integrated with Raspberry Pi and Dynamic Cell. Which brings us to the next section of result of the experiment. For object recognition, 4 classes of data have been gathered. Human, car, motorcyclist, and other class of object have been considered with 400 data each. For object recognition, the proposed method of CE-CBCE is compared with other novel extraction methods such as feature vector, region of interest, multiple feature extraction, CE, CBCE, and finally the diffusion of CE and CBCE. In terms of precision, recall, F1 score, and accuracy, CE-CBCE achieved the best results with 97%. For navigation with human subject experiment, 3 scenes of navigation is conducted. The first scene involves a static obstacle only, shown in the upper left frame of the video. The second scene involves a static and dynamic obstacle, as shown in the upper right frame of the video. An incoming turtlebot tree acts as the non-human moving obstacle. The turtlebot tree obstacle moves in a direction opposing the trajectory of blindfolded person to test the ability to avoid collision for non-human subject. And finally, the lower frame of the video represents the navigation with static, non-living dynamic obstacle and human dynamic obstacle. A little kid representing human obstacle enters the scene as the blindfolded subject avoids the moving robot and human within a narrow path. The second video involves motion recording within SLAM environment. The arrow shows the movement trajectory of the mobile robot. The green shaded area represents the mobile robot itself, while the red shaded area represents the dynamic non-human obstacle. Finally, the white shaded area shows the movement of dynamic human obstacle. The experiments are done involving 7 human participants with 90 repeated scenes for accurate evaluation. The distance and time taken to arrive to the determined destination are recorded. As the final results, the navigations are recorded and the proposed FSC ORCA method is compared with other novel methods such as improved A-star and directional ORCA. The improved A-star method covers 6.7 meters and directional ORCA recorded 7.1 meters movement within the same time of 110 seconds. And finally, the FLC ORCA covers 7 meters within 100 seconds only. As the final conclusion, the proposed method does not only achieve safe navigation, but also successfully implemented custom selection, social distancing measures during navigation. Here are the related references and published works pertaining this research. Thank you for your kind attention. Bye and have a good day.
Thank you for those lovely videos. And I would actually now like to invite one of our international judges, Dr. Aslan Kiani, who's Senior Technical Analyst from Dell Technologies and also the IEEE Student Activities Chair. So the competition was actually judged by myself, Dr. Kiani, and Dr. Mahalana Jati from the University of Auckland, who's a postdoctoral research fellow, Dr. Inkyusa, and who's a senior research scientist at CSIRO, and Mr. Jong Yoon Lim, again a senior research engineer at the University of Auckland. So on behalf of the judging panel and on behalf of the international team, I'd like to now invite Dr. Kiani to give some thoughts on the competition. Thank you.
Thanks, Dulsha. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to start by thanking the IEEE TENCON organizers for organizing such a great robotic competition. Since we are all aware of the fact that we are living through the pandemic, which has affected the entire world and our activities at a large scale. So robots obviously have a great potential in supporting the current severe corona pandemic. They can support us in healthcare environment, testing and production of medicines, vaccine, and other auxiliaries. Engineers and scientists have moved quickly to join the fight against coronavirus by teaming up with different organizations and institutions around the globe. And in a world that is more vulnerable to pandemic, academics and researchers are also looking towards robots for solving pandemic problems. So in these regards, the videos that we have received for this competition are already great, and the participations have really put a lot of effort in developing those reports and taking those ideas to the next level. So we really appreciate their hard work, and all the ideas and videos were equally good. I would like to especially appreciate the juniors for not taking this uh, competition as a fun activity, but also shows us their potential for taking smallest of the ideas to very big of the futuristic projects. So that was really heartwarming. And I must say that these videos can wake up anyone and brightens up their day. They're just really awesome. So in short, it was not easy to just this competition due to the great quality of the robotic designs and the videos as you have all seen. But I thoroughly enjoyed the overall process. It was really a great player. I wish all the participants good luck and hope they'll continue to put their efforts in robotic designs for future as well. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'll pass it on back to Dulsha for her thoughts and feedback as the chair of the judging panel.
Hi again, everyone. So thank you very much, Aslan. That was really nice to hear from you. And actually, I would now like to invite Dr. Hosek An from the University of Auckland, who was actually the general organizer of this whole competition, and he's put in a lot of work into organizing this competition. So I would like him to give some of his thoughts to all of you who are watching us right now. Thank you. Over to you, Jose.
Thank you, Dulza. Hello, I'm Hosogan, the chair of the TENCON Student Robot Design Competition. Due to the global pandemic, many of us are having difficult time, but thanks to all the participants and the organizers, we are making a great conference. Especially, I really appreciate all your great works on the robot videos and the presentations. Despite of the short period of time, we got 25 high quality submissions and we enjoyed to watch all your videos. It was really fun time to watch, but also it was quite tough time to the internet judges to select the winners. Yeah. We had double submission options here. First option was submitting your videos with the theme COVID-19 to the IEEE Region 10. They selected the qualified videos who can get the financial support of your registration fee. The R10 selection was made by Professor Jennifer Della Cruz, and I really appreciate all your great contribution. The selected R10 submissions and the normal submissions to the TENCON are all considered as final submissions of the TENCON design competition here. As Dr. Dursa said, we invited five international judges who are all professionals in the robotics domain, and they selected 10 best videos what you watched until now. And from the three categories, the university division and the senior school divisions for the intermediate and high school student, and the junior school division from the primary students. Especially, I really appreciate over the works from the young students who are our future generation. Actually, yeah, I also see the big potential from them. Actually, I want to say this one that actually the purpose of the robot design competition is not rank all of you in the one night. We'd like to give you an opportunity to think about recognizing the problems, finding your solutions, designing your practical solutions, and developing your technical skills from this competition. And I believe all of you got priceless experience from this competition. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hoseok. It was nice to hear your thoughts as the chief organizer of this competition. And I have to emphasize on how much work is actually put in, and also Dr. Jennifer De La Cruz, who's been coordinating for the Region 10 entries and organizing that part of the competition. And now I would actually like to invite Dr. Zia Ahmed from Region 10 to say a few words about the competition.
Thank you, Dilsham. First of all, I would like to appreciate and congratulate the TENCON 2021 organizing committee under the leadership of Professor Nirmal Nair for a very successful conference. TENCON is one of the 3 flagship conferences of Region 10. The other 2 are TENCIM and Conference on Community Technology, HTC. I think despite being held in virtual mode this year, TENCON was a very successful conference with buzzing, and live sessions of paper presentation and networking going on online. So it was a very successful conference. So second, my congratulations to TENCON teammates for organizing this robotic competition and workshop. Robotics really it covers a lot of fields from hardware, software, coding, signal processing, image processing, artificial intelligence, so many other fields. So at Region 10, we do recognize that if we promote any activity in robotics, we will be reaching out to a broader community of our students and professionals. So this has been something under consideration at Region 10 for some time. And we are now looking into few initiatives which we would like to launch next year. The Region 10 Executive Committee meeting is scheduled in January, and I'm hoping to get approval for some of those initiatives. Please watch this space for announcements from Region 10 related to robotics. The other wonderful thing about robotics is that it really inspires not only people who are doing it, but onlookers as well, because it's something tangible, performing something. So it's a lot of stimulation for young people, especially to take up STEM subjects. So as we saw all these fantastic videos today, young people with all these bright ideas and looking at problems and thinking about the solution. It's very stimulating for not only young mind, but equally for grown-ups. I think it was a fantastic program which TENCON committee organized. And so, the other thing I want to say about to participating teams is that yes, winning is an ultimate goal when you go into a competition. But I believe that participation is also very important, because it is a great way to enhance your knowledge, to see what others are doing. And so even if you don't win a prize, it's worth competing in these sorts of competitions. And my congratulations to all the teams who participated in this competition. I wish you all the very best, and I hope at Region 10 we will launch initiatives related to robotics. You will be ready with bigger, more interesting projects to participate. With that, I think I will wait for the results to come in the next session. I believe all the videos which we saw are very competitive, and so the competition must be hard. And as Dr. Kanye was saying that, and Baksha was saying that, these videos have been judged by a very capable panel, with very thorough assessments. So it will be interesting to see the results of this competition. So all the best to all the teams, and I'll hand over to Professor Nelman Nair for the word of thanks or whatever he wants to say.
That was wonderful. I think, so first of all, greetings. So my name is Nirmal Nair, and I know this is being streamed, and this is got by a whole bunch of people whom are totally new, since this conference is an international conference. It's 4 days. We started, and it was a day and night conference. It's being from Auckland, New Zealand. I'm based here in Auckland, New Zealand, by the way. And but I used to address as dear students and ladies and gentlemen and things like that in the last 3 days. But I'm sure today I will address in a different manner, because there are a lot of young talent out there. So young students all across the board, professionals, university students, also the TENCON attendees. They have been there for 4 days, and we are seeing in this HOA platform some exciting things which are going along. And in parallel to this, there is also a technical session as well. So I just wanted to spend some time to talk a little bit. I'll just comment on the robotics workshop itself as such, and why we, so check out, for those who are just joining for this, www.tencon2021.com. You can check that out. And you can see, especially the young people, I think I heard certain words and things like that. I would have never thought that in my middle school I would have even known what was happening. But and that's why I'm trying to tell, if parents are there, it is a safe space. Don't worry about it. It's a technical one. Just open up, the handbook, right? TENCON handbook. And I'm pretty sure you'll be able to follow something or the other. I wouldn't have advised that to anyone else. But after seeing the first 4 videos, which is by middle school and high school, I believe, that's what Hosuk told me, I thought, hey, this is tremendous. So it's a good news, right? So that's the part. And if you look at the conference, why I wanted you to go and look at that conference theme, especially the young people who are joining for this workshop only, is look at smarter, cleaner, secure, and resilient living. That is the theme of the conference. And we never thought that this was supposed to be a physical workshop here, because we won this conference 2 years ago, and that is why it was a workshop. We wanted you to come to, and I think these 4 teams are based here in Auckland. That's what my understanding is. Hosuk told me. So usually you come to the University of Auckland facilities, you play with that. So that was the idea. When we had to do face-to-face workshop, we were planning for that. That's why we thought it as a workshop. But then we flipped into a competition, right? And then that got the attention. And this is where I would like to acknowledge Region 10. So IEEE is a not-for-profit organization. All of us are volunteers, but we have gained a lot from that experience. And it is the largest professional organization in the world, 450,000 members. And whatever you see in the technology, starting from electricity, computers, software, whatever you're seeing in the last 50 years has been through this one. So the world is a totally different place. And in the last 20 years, we have been accelerating on these technologies, right? So once again, go back to the website. I'm continuously pointing out to that, young folks, and check out future directions. This whole theme has been about future directions. So don't get overwhelmed with all those technical talks and things like that. These are students who are now designing the system for the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, right? So you might think, oh, this is crazy, but no, this is the life you would be living, right? The future of work is changing, right? So what I used to do, or Dulsha you saw, or Hosuk, or Zia, it's totally changed the world. But the next 5 years is going to accelerate like what you exactly saw. So even though this is a competition, you have put a best foot forward for a person who is from the university, right? Because they didn't have that technology then. And so good on you, because you picked up the technology pretty fast in schools, perhaps. Maybe in the last couple of years, you've been just sitting and doing COVID and things like that. And I'll go back how old I am. I'm the last century person. So when I used to do computers and things like that 30 years ago, playing a video game, my mom used to come and say, "What are you doing? You're not studying, you're playing games," and all those kind of stuff. Now, if your parents ask next year, why are you playing the games? You could flip back and ask them, you for the last 2 years, you have been playing with the computer all the time, and you are saying that you are working. What do you mean what you're working? Right? So this is the world which in the last 30 years we have given you, right? And it is a safe place. That's why it is secure, right? Now it is about resilient living. But we still have the other two challenges, right? You have to be smart and you have to be cleaner, which is why today's workshop, we kind of themed it around, and there are some people who are joining just for this workshop. For those of you who don't, there was a separate registration track. So in the morning, we attack the problem of future energy system, right? Like clean energy and things like that. So because we have built a system on, engineers have done it, electrical engineers have done it. So we are powered with electricity, but now we need to make that big transition. Within the next 5 years, we have to get renewable and things like that. So that was the cleaner part of it. But this one is the smarter part of it, right? So this is the robotics part of it. So I think it went well with that theme. I would like to acknowledge Zia particularly, because I think I reached out 3 weeks ago or something like that. I don't even remember. It was not much longer because we were going to have a physical conference here. But in August, as some of you know, that Auckland has been totally locked off from even the rest of the country, rest of New Zealand. And so then we had to pivot it into this online. So this workshop became a competition, and that's why you are seeing this. But, so this brings new opportunities. Now we know new talent. Now we know many of these things. So check us out, the STEM disciplines, and you might have seen some of those university folks from all over the world, Asia Pacific, particularly going across. So if you're looking at your geography, the Asia Pacific basically means it is from our region of countries. It is on the west, Afghanistan. On the top is Mongolia. On the western part, it is Japan. And in the southern part, it is New Zealand, right? So that is the geography you were competing, right? So the very fact that 10 of you came into that thing is you're one of the best amongst this whole region who competed. So hopefully in the future, when we have TENCON, I think this would be a standard activity. We have usually focused on just doing, papers and things like that. Nothing against them. They are doing their own thing for the past 3 days. And that's also been fantastic. But basically, I think what we have done here is this online has given us opportunities. So if you go back for the others who are just joining in for this conference, on 7th of December, we had a 3 streaming session, which Zia had managed to arrange with 3 other groups, which was industry group, professional activities group, women in engineering group, and young professional group, right? So check those videos out. It is already available on the part. You can check out what that is. And this was the last one, correct? And therefore we integrated the TENCON program with the Region 10 program. And it was great to have the support of my Region 10 colleague, De Cruz, Professor De Cruz. She couldn't be here. She has something else in Philippines, I believe. But thanks for making this happen. It happened seamlessly. I hope you enjoyed the experience. So now the big thing is, what is the award? Who do you know who has won it? So this session was supposed to be streamed up till 4 o'clock, but I'll give you a 20 minutes back. But what you need to go now is, this recording will come through. Just play that recording and just guess who would be the winner, correct? We won't keep you much suspense, but we could have immediately flipped. But if you look at the session, there is one another technical session which is happening, and that closes at 4:20, right? So come back to 4:20. We will have a closing session for this whole conference, and you will know who has won the award. That's a great recognition. But all the 10 videos who are placed, they are archived in Region 10 system here. So you are 10 out of 25. The other 15 people who have not, you also come and join the fun. we would be able to share with you some more new ideas of what you need to do. And Zia will be coming back and talking a little bit about that. So with that, I have a few thanks to make. I'll give you back your 15 minutes. First of all, without Hosuk, this was not possible. Hosuk is a humble person. He used to be the chair of New Zealand North Section. And I think during his time is when we put the bid to host TENCON. Hosuk remembers that. And he told, hey, Nirmal, we have never hosted TENCON. Why are we not doing it? Because IEEE has been one of the, New Zealand has been there since 1968. We have never dared to do it. So I would like to acknowledge this would not have happened had it not be for Hosuk, because he was a section chair. We have to compete for this space. And he told me, Nirmal, can you put it? And I'll do that. And then I went to Auckland ACB, Auckland Convention Bureau, and they helped me quickly put this together, and we mounted it, and lo and behold, we won it. But we had 2 years to prepare. We wanted to, so Hosuk has been that. He has been a long-standing volunteer, but he's passionate about robotics and the things like that. You might have seen that. So Hosuk, without that, this session would not have happened, right? That's the first comment. The second part is to Dulsha. Thanks, Dulsha, for picking up at the last minute. But you have been part of the robotic competition and things like that in the past. You have also been associated with our Women in Engineering Affinity group over the last, I think, 2 or 3 years back. And now in the COVID, you're coming back to serve for Region 10. It's great that you're back. And now we know the connections and volunteers over this last few weeks. You might have known all the Region 10 people as well. So I think this is a much closer place. And you might have seen a lot of people from Australia as well joining here. So I think Lance Fung spoke during the Region 10. He's going to be after a couple of years, he's going to be the Region 10 director here. So I think we need more volunteers in this space who can have time and to deliver. So without this, it's not possible. Yeah, it's unfortunate that we have to go online. But anyway, it was memorable. We are engineers. We are pivoting. We can do those things. And you might have seen the value of this. So I think we have brought to TENCON. I will write in my notes later on, a broader range of audience here than what used to be, because school kids, I don't know who else is watching this. So this is a much more broader kind of a segment which you want. And that's what it needs to be, because for these challenges, that's where it needs to be. Concentrate on your math, concentrate on your physics, and do consider engineering. It's a very, very broad and inclusive one. You might have seen those things and all those people from Asia Pacific. And we need to lead, because this part of the world is 50% of the population, of 60%, I don't exactly know, young people like you. And in IEEE, we are 50% more. So, and I think within the next 5 years, we might be 60 or 70% more. We have so far dealt with technologies which is coming from other parts of the world. We have to now solve the problems, and that is in our remit, right? Climate change. So we have to lead the world. We have to lead the solutions. The other will follow, because you're the young folks. So most of the young folks are in this whole geographical region, which I just now explained. And do watch out the video on Wednesday as well. Deepak Mathur did talk about it, and you can also check out on cyber and thing on day 2. We had something on cyber security and things like that. I think with the audience which you have, you might be able to check that out. So it went a little bit longer, but that's fine. This is going to be recorded. So with that, I close this session. Please wait and join us back for streaming at 4:20 in the last session. And hopefully before 5 p.m., you will know the winners of this results, and Zia will be doing it. So right now, the judging team is finally assessing whatever the presentation was and making those final notes. So we will sort it out, and you will be ready with the results in the next couple of hours. So with that, I close off this session. Thank you, everyone, and kakiteano, as they like to call here in New Zealand. Bye-bye.